All right, good morning, good evening, good night. I am your host, Nifty Q, your solo dolo host today on NFT Live. We're bringing you the latest Web3 news in the industry right now. I'm solo dolo. GiftEd is flying back to LA from Toronto. So hopefully, your trusty NFT Live host from all the way back in the beginning can get it done here solo. We got a lot of things to cover today, including is the US government destroying Web3? Are they killing crypto? Are they I don't have any alliteration for NFTs, but what is going on with Trump NFTs, with SEC? They're up on the hill. A couple different senators attacking Gensler here. So we're going to get into all of that here on today's episode. So happy to have you guys in. Hey, look, I'm going to need some support. Again, sitting here solo. So I'm going to need a lot of community support, what you guys are doing today. This is pretty much the rundown. I got Franklin leaving the NFT space. That was a little bit unexpected. I'm not gonna lie. Franklin, his board account is gone. We'll touch on that here in a second. We got Trump NFTs. Some bullish indicators here. I know a lot of people have been feeling a certain type of way about the market. And I think we have some like bullish analytics, bullish stats on the volume side that we can kind of cover there. And some other pieces, right? We're going to touch SEC and Gensler. And we're also going to hit Pepe. Nakamigos came out with a nice announcement here, but I definitely wanted to get this episode out. It's going to be a shorter one today, but I wanted to kind of get with you guys just to kind of chop it up on the NFT front. Kevin Tack Daddy's here. Got my Starbucks, the new one today. I saw they were doing a version 2. I don't know if they covered that on yesterday's NFT Live. We had an amazing episode there with Ronan, Doc Gables, and GiftEd. So I need to go back and look if they covered Starbucks. But congratulations on that, Kevin. I need to look into this. Let's jump into that for our first story. So we're gonna hit quick hits. We're gonna do NFTGo, and then we are going to jump into the main topic of today, which of course is that the SEC absolutely got lit up. So Starbucks Odyssey gears up for second major NFT drop. A month after debuting its Genesis NFT, Starbucks launches its second set. Dubbed the First Store Collection, this new drop is expected to arrive on the 19th, featuring 5,000 NFTs for a flat rate of $100. So, keeping up with Starbucks NFTs on the Polygon front, I'll probably use Crypto Slam. And it looks like Kevin, you're all over the Polygon front, man. We got a bunch of different Polygon NFTs making the rounds. Let's go over to Crypto Slam real quick. So you hate to say it. For some of you, you might not like to hear it, but Trump Digital Trading Cards version 2 is the top grossing in terms of, I think, sale volume here today in the NFT space. So that's going to be closely followed by Bored Ape Yacht Club, but specifically Trump Digital Trading Cards there. I'm not sure if Starbucks makes the list on this front just because they don't do the secondary volume. But I know that the beta is dropping those version 2s. So flat rate of $100. Kevin, I'd love for you to hit me with the secondary trading volume, if any. Are you able to trade and sell those NFTs, and have you been able to see are people flipping on that front? So yeah, so Trump Digital Trading Cards taking up the top spot here across all marketplaces here, not just Ethereum, not just Polygon. Across them all. Nakamigos seeing a good bit of a jump too. All right, so let's see. After months of experimentation with the closed beta, a public rollout of the platform is imminent. The company recently alluded to its beta testers via email that they were getting closer to the official launch. That said, once the second NFT drop is complete, Odyssey will shift its focus to rewarding beta users based on how many points they have earned. It sounds like we need to get a team from Starbucks here in either NFT Live or just on the network in general to talk to these guys. That would be a great time to kind of talk about their strategy. So it's weird. Starbucks are on Nifty and OpenSea with different numbers. Yeah, some of that has to do with, I don't know which Nifty you're talking about, but some of that has to do with the fact that they are on Polygon, so that the statistics are a little bit different. All right, so I mean, I don't own any Starbucks. The reason I didn't get into Starbucks is because one, I don't want to spend extra money there buying a coffee for $8. I just didn't see myself consistently using their app. Or if I was, then I'd probably be spending more money than I'd end up making. So yeah, shout out to Starbucks, man. I want to pull up this tweet real quick too, because there are a lot of different projects building out right now. I want to make sure I get the right one. Yeah, right here. All right, so I think this sums it up pretty nicely. Like, we're just hitting on Starbucks. Obviously, Trump NFTs. We've covered, Reddit avatars and all this stuff. But this comes from Liam Hurst. He says these collections are spearheading the future of NFTs. Swoosh, Trump cards, Reddit avatars, Starbucks NFTs, onboarding thousands of normies as collectors and ecosystem participants. They're designed to continue dropping new paid products and onboarding more people too. And I think that hits the nail on the head. I mean, we are sitting here, and there's some bullish indicators that we'll share here in just a moment, but we're sitting here in a bear market. We're sitting here in a NFT winter, as we've called on this channel multiple times, but there's also more sophisticated drops happening. And I hate to call a Trump drop sophisticated. I'm probably leaning more towards the swooshes, the alias from Adidas, Starbucks. All of these are happening right now. And they're definitely more sophisticated than we saw in 2021 and 2022, which is good. Oh, no, I see a Roll Tide here in my Kevin, as an Auburn alum, I cannot Roll Tide there with you, sir. But I didn't even make that connection. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to take down the elephant here that's been my friend for a long time. But I appreciate you here blowing up the chat. Guys, if you are sitting here listening to me on NFT Live, Gifted is traveling to Toronto here. He's going to be traveling to Austin too. We're going to Austin here next week. So we're throwing an event, Web3 Lounge. It's going to be at Highbrow, Lowbrow. And it's going to be, dude, an awesome location. If you're going to Consensus, what Phil is doing on the ground there in Austin is, and Phil is working closely with the Web3 team to host these events at different locations across the U.S. He's doing a fantastic job here with Highbrow, Lowbrow in Austin. So we're hosting Web3 Lounge Wednesday, April 26th, 4 to 8 p.m. We already got some sponsors. We already got some partners here that are attending. So we'd love to have you guys there. If you want to get in my DMs, let me know you're coming. I know I already got some from different sponsors as well. That are potentially looking to get involved in this. So I promise I will hit your DMs back. I promise. Prado is saying, "What's up? No gift today." Yep. I just, you're gonna have to deal with me here, unfortunately. But this is how NFT Live started. This is truly an OG throwback. We had me and Ronan the other day. Well, that first episode was just me talking about Axie Infinity, Decentraland, probably some wax drops that I hesitate to even go back. Those are tax write-offs now. But you got me today, Prado. But I appreciate you guys showing up early here. And Artifact Shoes, the real one. So let's get back into this tweet. Again, the sophistication we see of NFT drops now is just blowing away the Pepsi, the Budweiser. I mean, we saw Game of Thrones at the start of this year. That was a terrible drop. But I'm trying to rack my brain for the drops we saw in 2021, 22 from brands that were on the pulse that decided, hey, we're going to put out something, one, to make some money. At the end of the day, they're looking at bottom lines, not community and all this stuff. But it was missing that feel. And I think what we're getting right now from these big players, again, the aliases, the Starbucks NFTs, the Reddit avatars, it's on brand for what we want to do in Web3. It has Web3 values. There's community aspects. It's not, let's put out an 8,000 PFP drop and see what happens. And that's an awesome thing to see happen in this industry. All right, a couple quick hits here that I want to get y'all's opinion on as we continue through the episode. Would you ever wear a Ledger wallet on your chain. This is from the official Ledger account. Keep your keys closed wherever you are with our Ledger Nano X on-chain bundle. Make sure you scoop up a Ledger Nano X exclusive chain with free shipping. Dude, why are you promoting wearing a Ledger chain on your chest? Why? I thought we're trying to teach some good wallet hygiene here, IRL and on chain. But they are promoting from their personal account. Hey, I'm gonna wear a Ledger across my neck so I can get kidnapped by the Mexican cartel. Sayonara. Yeah, it's not for me, fam. It's not for me. All right, this next piece of news is pretty hot. I'm not going to show it. I did just leak it there. Franklin is bored. Has left the NFT space fully. We covered on Monday the ape liquidations that happened in the Bored Ape ecosystem, from Franklin saying he got pretty much rugged for like 2,000, 3,000 ETH, which is wild to say out loud. I mean, the guy made generational wealth in the matter of 1 or 2 years. Everybody was putting him on a pedestal. I didn't hate the guy, but I wasn't a fan. And so he got rugged. He had to sell a bunch of apes. You do what you got to do. But this is where we're at today. So Franklin's board has left the. Does this hurt? Help? Does this not move the meter for you guys? Again, I've never been a fan of the guy. Really, really surprised at the amount of. I don't want to call him a grifter, but we've seen Ryan Carson now. We've seen Franklin. A couple different, hardcore players that we thought were leaders in this space have now said, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm dipping out. I would love an update on Ryan Carson. I would love to see if this guy is like balls deep in some AI right now. Asmonai, what's going on? He said maybe that's his 2-day wallet and long-term holds are in the safe. That's fair. So I'm assuming you're talking about the Ledger across. Easy, you're going to get a kick out of this, man. Ledger has put out an official tweet here. Keep your keys close wherever you are with the Ledger Nano. They're promoting wearing your Ledger on your chain. Listen, even if I don't have anything in there, is there a chance that someone could think I have something attached to the private keys associated with that wallet? Maybe. So OVOT, Asmodai, Kevin, Prado, good to see you guys. All right, so back to Franklin here for just a moment. We've seen Ryan Carson leave. We've seen Franklin leave. I'm skipping out on a lot. I mean, all the like little what I would make sure to call grifters in the space that would be like celebrity influencers that came and gone. I know Zach XBT just did a write up on Soulja Boy, trying to continuously scam. I think there was like 30 different projects, but I did not expect Franklin to absolutely leave the ecosystem completely, which is what we got. He said he was going to take some time, right? He said he was going to take some time. He said he was going to, go IRL, touch some grass, figure out how to scrape back the thousands of ETH. But I did not expect Franklin to completely leave. So interested on y'all's take there. It just goes to show, man. I mean, we have been, at least in the Web3 community, the Lad City community that started in 2021, we've been continuously preaching about leaders in the space who, have some sort of authenticity. And I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here. This is not probably the moment to be beating on Franklin based on like what he's done, but it happened too soon after the Ryan Carson peace out for me to just sit back and say, oh, you get a free pass. So Prado is saying even the smartest people get scammed. I think he did, of course. The only other, let's see, most of these bag holders are not long-term traders and on a pedestal from one or two buys, mostly not because they're good traders or degens. That's a great point. That's another reason not to put these people on a pedestal unless they've shown continuous successes when it comes to either, knowing what, good collections are in this industry. But what seemed to have happened with Franklin is he bought a shit ton of apes. Congratulations. For whatever reason, he went balls deep on Bored Ape Yacht Club, and people put him on a pedestal and said, look at this genius. Look at this guy. He's doing phenomenally. And after he makes those buys, and I'm not digging much farther deep down this, but once you get connected with the right individuals, you can have right calls again just by being connected in the industry. So guarantee that's what happened. I mean, he probably saw multiples of ETH that we don't even want to be thinking about. So hopefully this wasn't all of his bag. But putting somebody on a pedestal just because, they had that initial hit with Ape, I don't know. Also, I've heard a couple of my close friends say, he's an okay guy. I think Ronan had said that he had met him in NFT NYC, the first NFT NYC, and he was an okay guy. So, tough one here, but definitely is a warning shot on who are our leaders. Who do we want to have this be a ride or die with long term? That's the question, because people who put their trust in Ryan, he pieced. People who put their trust in Franklin, he pieced. So continuously be working on that. I appreciate y'all getting in the chat here today as I'm solo while Gifted is traveling back to LA from Toronto. Easy and Crypto saying can't all be about the bags. If you get wrecked, rebuild. That's what you would have liked to see, right? So maybe he'll be back in a month. Maybe this was just temporary. We'll continue to watch it. All right, we got a bunch of other news to hit today, so I'm not going to stay on Franklin too much. The Nakamigos putting on an absolute clinic of an announcement of an announcement. This is how you make an announcement of an announcement. Nakamigos are half the story. Next part coming for holders later this year. Really? So here's the checklist if you want to see your project pump. One, have some initial liquidity so you can pump up a market on secondary. So unless you're Trump, or unless you're well connected, you need to have some initial liquidity to drive volume, to gain interest, because that's one of the metrics that by which people judge projects. Oh shit, a ton of volume. Maybe this is legitimate. But one of those checklist pieces is going to be making an announcement like this, because degens love the announcement of the announcement. Oh my God, I got to get in before this huge immaculate thing drops. Of which case, in the end, most projects fall short, and therefore the price floor dumps on reveal, price floor dumps on the actual announcement. But Nakamigos putting on a clinic there. I actually want to check out their floor price here. So they definitely got a lot of sales here in the last 24 hours based on this post. Let's go over to NFTGo real quick. So Nakamigos sitting here at number 2 in the last 24 hours. Let's check out this floor price. Asmund, I was saying, okay, but the Franklin had some questionable trades after the fact. There was a lot of that going on, which again begs a question: why are people putting this guy on a pedestal? And it has a lot to do with the fact that, one, whales draw a lot of interest in certain projects. So if you're able to time your entry with Franklin's, you might do well. So there's a ton of people following that whale. They're like the little fishes that go along with the whale. Hey, maybe I'll get rich one day by following Franklin. So yeah, I agree with you, Asmodai. What up, Prodigy? OVOT suckers. Not how I'd greet you in the morning, but I appreciate it. Guys, we just got started a little while ago. Thank you guys for tuning in here on NFT Live. We do it 1 p.m. daily. Get the word out. Please leave a like on this episode. It definitely helps us kind of proliferate the message out there. Feed our families that we don't have. I mean, we have families. Okay. Anyways. All right. Floor price for Nakamigos. So we saw a little bit of a run up here in the last, I would say in the last 24 hours on the volume side. So you can see the volume has picked up. Hasn't necessarily done that much for the floor price. I think it's, you can see in the last 24 hours, we've seen a pickup from average price 0.25 to average price of 0.36. So there you go. This is a, if I can find it, this is a great post on the art of an announcement of an announcement. So we'll go back to NFTGo here. Prodigy saying, "What's the music video guy up to? Based still bueno. Music video guy. Oh, based heads. We can cover some based heads. We can cover some based heads here in a second." Prodigy, I don't know if you saw the AI Drake and Weeknd song. Did you catch that 2 episodes ago? I would love to hear if you caught that, because I would love to play that for you. All right, I'm going to drop this NFT Live link on Twitter for y'all, and then we will get into the next piece. Again, I don't want to spend all episode talking about Franklin. I'm sure, he's got his own thing going on right now to deal with, and I don't want to speculate. All right, so this is the tweet for today. This is the rest of the episode that we're getting into. SEC and Gensler gets grilled. There's a lot of good sound bites. A ton of good sound bites from yesterday's hearing. Some sound bites that would make you think maybe we're not all fucked. Trump NFTs round 2. You're going to love this one, Prodigy. So Nakamigos saw a pump off that post. Again, using the playbook, the announcement of an announcement playbook. Ledger wants you to get jumped. And we're putting on that event here in Austin. So I'm going to drop this link as well. Franklin's leaving the ecosystem. So a busy day here. A busy day. All right. So this is the closing statement by one of the senators from Carolina. One of the House of Representatives, or just a representative from Carolina, we shall say. Patrick McHenry. This is just phenomenal. So I'm going to let this play all the way through. It's 22 seconds. We've got some other sound bites from the SEC's hearing yesterday, or the hearing there for the Federal Judiciary Committee. But I do want to play this first.
The failures are many, but let me cite some of the abuses. You average more than 2 rules proposals a month. You provide inappropriately short comment periods. You have unworkable and unlawful ESG disclosure mandates on the market. You have essentially a Hotel California rule for crypto where you can check in anytime you like, but you can never leave. The failure.
So, I mean, that's just the first segment. I've got 4 or 5 different clips where they are just hammering the SEC. And I've told you about 2-Bit Idiot. If you're not following Ryan Selkis, you need to be. He was live tweeting the whole event. I want to take this post real quick. He says, "I'm helping spearhead a $100 million multi-entity pro-crypto political campaign over the next 18 months. I'm putting my time, energy, and money where my mouth is. This morning was a small taste of what to come. GM in America, LFG. So the context here, we've gotten multiple stories, multiple different reports of the U.S. pushing out innovation from the country. Some of that is I don't want to take too much of a U.S.-centric, kind of point of view. I know we have a ton of people around the globe that listen to this show. So, other countries benefiting from, kind of a flight of innovation of what's happening in the U.S. based on the SEC's refusal to set any type of precedent and just going after people based on God knows what, is good for other countries. I've heard good things about Portugal's Web3 community. I've seen some who's Balaji has been talking on his Web3 or the Web State. I'm blanking on the podcast name, but he's been talking about how these smaller islands are benefiting from the flight of innovation from larger countries to smaller islands that have better regulations set up. Not to mention not paying, the exorbitant amount of taxes. We've seen all of that negative press. And so the idea that the government, our government in the United States, I'm specifically talking about, is actually in some way attacking the SEC for their poor performance, said poorly. That was very light on Gensler there. Is awesome. So it's like a sliver of light that we're seeing here, about maybe our future and our future of innovation here in the United States when it comes to crypto and the broader tech, but mainly, the financialization of tech, which is, crypto's aligned with. As I was saying, I love the grill Gensler got on ETH. Despite his non-response, he is definitely actively against crypto and hindering it by not commenting for when free to speak, blame crypto for bank failures. I agree with that. So whenever there is a negative, narrative to be had, to be the low-hanging fruit that someone in his position can go for, because most people are not, let's be frank, not financially literate, he can go to the low-hanging fruit of crypto is a scam. This is all money laundering. Look, we're gonna protect you. Look at who we're going after. But let's go to that ETH as a security segment as well. This one's a little bit longer. They completely, I don't know what that's about. Let me find the comment. It looks like the tweet was deleted. Yeah, I'll be able to find it. All right, here we go. So this is from Sasal, whatever you want to call him. One of the larger influencers on ETH or characters on ETH. Here we go. This is about ETH. This is obviously something that pertains to us. We spend a majority of our time in the Ethereum ecosystem. So this is the SEC chair being asked, is ETH a security?
Well, thank you, Chair Gensler. I'll now recognize myself for 5 minutes. Ether is one of the most popular digital assets and powers the Ethereum blockchain.
True.
Back in 2018, then SEC Corporation Finance Director Bill Hinman stated that he believed Ether was not a security. Last month, CFTC Chair Benham expressed his view that Ether is a commodity. The State Attorney General of New York asserted in a court filing last month that Ether is a security. Clearly, an asset cannot be both a commodity and a security. Do you agree?
Actually, all securities are commodity under the Commodity and Exchange Act. It's that we are excluded commodities. But I would agree that a security cannot be also an excluded commodity and an included commodity. I'm sorry, Chair, just to talk about the Commodity Exchange Act more precisely.
Okay, so do you recognize, how would you categorize Ether then?
Look, I think that the general sweep of what Congress did, not just in the 30s.
So
but
he's dodging.
as
for the
amended.
I'm
next 2
asking you to
minutes.
sit in your chair now to make an assessment under the laws as exist. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
Without speaking to anyone.
I know you've
token,
repeatedly
it's
said
a
you're not
matter
going to
of
speak to
facts.
one, except you've spoken to one, Bitcoin. So I'm asking you to speak to a second one, the second largest market cap here.
And speaking to the tokens, there's 10 to 12,000. If there's a group of entrepreneurs in the
I'm asking
middle
about
that the
one.
public is anticipating a profit based on the.
I'm asking you a specific question, Chair Gensler. I said this in private. This should be no shock to you. I'm asking this question. Is Ether a commodity or a security?
And again, it depends on the facts and the law, and if there's a group of individuals.
I'm asking you about the
in
facts and the
middle.
law sitting in your seat and the judgment you are making.
And so, Mr. Chair, I think you would not want me to prejudge because I'm also.
But you have
aware-
prejudged on this. You've taken 50 enforcement actions. We're finding out as we go.
So that is probably. I'll get back to it here. I know you guys want to hear from them and not me, but I'll get back to it in just a second. That is the clear piece right here that we're dealing with in this country, that Coinbase is dealing with when they come out prior to this hearing. That's interesting timing. I'm looking at you, Brian Armstrong, and your marketing team or whoever you guys that made the decision. Coinbase coming out prior to this hearing saying we might move out of the U.S. It's because they're refusing to set any guidelines, but also attacking, also going on the offensive, saying, why don't you follow our rules? Well, there are none. The rule is don't touch crypto. Someone put out a tweet about that, years ago, but it felt like years, but a month ago, and said the rules are very clear. Don't fuck with crypto. Don't mess with it. Don't have it. Don't own it. Other than potentially Bitcoin, everything can be viewed as a security. That's their guidebook here, and they're being absolutely hammered on it, which was awesome to see. But let's get back to it.
Oh, as you file suit, as people get Wells notices on what is a security in your view, in your agency's view. I'm asking you a very simple question about the second largest digital asset. What is your view?
And my view is if there's a group of individuals in the middle that the public is
All
anticipating.
right, so let me just ask a second question then. Do you think it serves the market for an object to be viewed by the commodities regulator as a commodity and the securities regulator to be viewed as a security? Do you think that provides safety and soundness for the product? Do you think it provides consumer protection? Do you think it serves the value of innovation? I think no should be a very simple answer for you here.
I think
That uncertainty is bad, is it not?
And I think that Congress has said that there's one agency, the Securities and Exchange Commission, under this committee.
And you won't answer my question, and you're the head of that agency. So give me a break. Come on.
I'm answering it in the generic because you would not want me to speak about any one set of facts and circumstance.
Okay, so, but
All right, so this went on and on. I mean, it went on for hours, and nobody let up. Nobody let up. And there were multiple cases of people going after Gensler in his responses to the oversight which they're supposed to give the SEC. That's essentially what's going on here. It's like, hey, we're supposed to be in charge of, kind of overseeing what you guys are doing, and you guys clearly have no, want to be overseen. So another congressional leader here, Warren Davidson. We'll watch his. A little bit shorter.
Make it clear that we need to restructure the Securities and Exchange Commission. The failures are many, but let me cite some of the abuses. You average more than 2 rules proposals a month. You provide inappropriately short comment periods. You have unworkable and unlawful ESG disclosure mandates on the market. You have essentially a Hotel California rule for crypto where you can check in anytime you like, but you can never leave. You have endless discovery with no resolution and no clarity for the captives in the market. You have unworkable proposals for overhauling equity market structure, a de facto ban on crypto through proposed custody rule. You have high staff turnover, unhappy people leaving your office and unhappy companies and capital leaving our country. To correct a long series of abuses, I'm introducing legislation that removes the chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission and replaces the role with an executive director that reports to the board where all authority would reside. Former chair.
All right, so if you didn't catch that, that's this individual, this congressman asking for the removal of Gensler as chair of the SEC. So, Prodigy, I see your comment in the chat that says, "Geez, they always gotta have hands in shit. Just f off." To be honest, I hate this government. Well, this is why this is so positive. Hopefully, it's no red herring, right? We have to continuously, follow up on how they can actively pursue some of the legislation they're trying to push, which is let's figure out what the fuck the SEC is doing so that we can kind of clean this up. If they actually mean what they're saying, this is actually a positive.
Chairs of the SEC will be ineligible under my proposed bill. And this isn't just my take. It resonates across the political spectrum. The American people want democratic access to capital, retail investor participation. You can't just exclude retail investors from markets and claim it's for their own good. Our markets need to function and flourish, and I yield back.
So again, if what they're saying is true, this is a positive step. Again, a lot of these hearings are just, let me say the most bombastical things that people want to hear, and then when it comes to the actual policies, we're not going to get anything done. So this was awesome. Of course, I'm in Web3. I'm a digital, I'm not a digital nomad per se. But the libertarian point of view, I think, leads to, me thinking that these guys are not going to really follow through on much. We will see. I would love if I'm interested more in this libertarian mindset. Obviously, being in crypto, I'm exposed to a lot of people that lean that way. But if you guys have any books or any, light or hard reads, I'd love for you guys to drop anything in the chat that has helped you in that mindset. So Selka's just tweeted this out, I believe, a moment ago, right before we press live, about the SEC getting grilled here and Gensler getting grilled. So let's look at this. So if you haven't followed 2-Bit Idiot, I've been talking about him for the last 6 months, 7 months since the FTX stuff came out, and we started to hear a lot of FUD related to crypto, which is always parroted, by the powers that be, to say that crypto is a scam and everybody needs to be afraid and all this stuff. Well, this guy is fighting back pretty heavily. So he said it's been 24 hours to reflect on Chair Gensler's absolute train wreck of an oversight hearing yesterday. Here's the substance of how ineffective and out of touch the Biden administration's financial regulators are right now. I've been saying quite loudly for 2 years that the chair's war on crypto is about power, not policy. In particular, it's about placating his political booster, Senator Warren. But when he is questioned by anyone other than the spoon-feeding allies, he wilts. Gensler has spent 40 years in finance as a second career bureaucrat, yet he still wasn't ready for prime time. He was totally unprepared. He shrank in his chair from the moment Patrick McHenry began asking simple questions. Now, we've been bringing up Patrick McHenry for a little bit on this show as well because he's had sound bites, but this is definitely his big moment here as it's related to crypto. So he's talking about, let's look over these 5 questions. We covered the Ether is a security or a commodity. He didn't answer that question. The ongoing lies about the crypto. So this is really cool that he's mentioning this because there have been moments where Coinbase has even come out and said, hey, we're trying time and time and time after again. We're one of the biggest firms in all of crypto. We're trying to be compliant. There is no talk back and forth. There is, the compliance committee comes into Coinbase's office. They talk for hours and hours. Nothing. To Coinbase's, quote, they're basically saying, hey, look, we're not getting any feedback here. There's an input of information, but no output from the SEC. So it's a complete farce. Registration with the SEC is intentionally impossible. Favorite look. If Marty was here, he'd be getting after the FTX piece here and the conspiracy theory there. But apparently, Emmer's talking about FTX. I would want to listen to this. Let's listen to this FTX piece, not the whole 5 minutes, but I do want to listen to this piece here.
5 minutes.
Thank you. Chair Gensler, I have a lot of questions in a limited amount of time, so if you could keep your answers to either a yes or a no, that will allow us to get through as many as possible, sir. From your perspective, is it more difficult now for the digital asset industry to access financial products and services in the United States than it was, say, 2 years ago?
Wow.
Sir,
I haven't even watched this,
I'm
by the
not
way.
running one of those businesses. If they came into compliance, I think that would
Reclaiming
be
my time. The answer, sir, is yes. Do you think you and the SEC have had a role to play in that?
I think we have a role to protect the American investor and the capital markets. And
Reclaiming my time, sir. You
yeah.
have played an obvious role in that. During your tenure at the SEC, how many rules has the SEC finalized that actually accommodate the existing regulatory framework and are specifically to the digital asset industry so the crypto market can come into compliance?
it's their rule books that are on the books for years, so we have not finalized any new rule specifically with regard to crypto. We've proposed some things in best execution. We've
some
also,
Sir, reclaiming my time, the answer is 0. And how many enforcement actions has the SEC levied against digital asset companies during your tenure, sir?
I think it's probably 40 or 50.
The answer, sir, is about 55. My understanding is that the biggest crypto failure in history is probably FTX at $9 billion.
Oh,
Were
get
you the
him.
chairman of the SEC when FTX collapsed?
Yes.
And how many times did you meet with FTX prior to their collapse?
I think my public record shows 2.
You met it with FTX at least twice. And arguably, the second biggest crypto failure in history was Terra Luna. Who was the chairman of the SEC when Terra Luna collapsed, sir?
We had brought...
You were, sir. Reclaiming my time, you were. There are 5
God
members on the
damn.
commission. Do you believe your speeches and interviews are to serve as the official position of the SEC?
I can only speak for myself when I'm speaking.
Again, sir, in a statement on the SEC website, you are quoted saying, the Kraken staking as a service enforcement action should make clear to the marketplace that staking as a service providers must register. But again, you haven't provided any rules for how that can be done.
All right. So that's an important piece here when it comes to Ethereum. We've touched on this on the channel and covered it. This is why them not coming out and saying Ether is a security or a commodity is important, because if you stake as an ETH delegator, you can potentially get caught up in these bad regulations, essentially, or lack of regulations. You could be in the crossfire by providing a money transmitter. You can be caught in the crossfire because you're providing your staking as a security. Now there's all of these different pieces that get caught up in here, but he just mentioned that their enforcement on Kraken set a little bit of a precedent there across everything, not just their staking, but ETH staking in general.
Done. I must remind you, your public statements are not regulations. It's not responsible to expect the American people to assume your statements are a substitute for rules. Do you agree with this statement regarding the digital asset industry? The SEC needs additional congressional authorities to prevent transactions, products, and platforms from falling between the regulatory cracks.
I think that it's a largely non-compliant field. And
Sir,
we could use
again,
additional
I asked you to comply with my questions, and I'm asking you if you agree with that quote. And I'm going to tell you, I'm quoting you from an August 3rd, 2021 article where you, and I believe you told Congressman Hill earlier that you need congressional authority to regulate stablecoins, and stablecoins happen to be a significant percentage of the crypto market. So the question is, when were you telling the truth? To Mr. Hill or to me? You've got to start answering these questions in a more transparent manner, sir. Does it concern you, by the way, that your approach to the digital asset industry is actually driving this industry out of the United States?
We're trying to drive it to compliance, and if they're not complying with the laws, then they shouldn't be.
But you didn't
offering
make
their
any
products.
Reclaiming my
laws.
time. Madam Chair, I would like to enter into the record this Wall Street Journal article from April 14th, 2023, detailing China's ploy to open its banking system to crypto firms in an effort to seize an opportunity created by our hostile regulatory environment, which, Mr. Chair, you're a big part of.
Without
Look,
objection.
Hey,
Chair
let him-
Gensler, FTX was
Gosh,
domiciled
this-
abroad,
this
and so
dude
was
is spinning.
Binance. Yet
Let him
American
cook.
consumers still had
Let
access to
Emmer
both.
cook.
You can't really think that pushing this industry abroad is going to protect American consumers when it hasn't several times in the past on your watch. You say the crypto market is rife with non-compliance. However, existing SEC rules make no sense for blockchain-based companies, and following them would actually kill these businesses. Your regulatory style lacks flexibility and nuance, and as a result, you've been an incompetent cop on the beat, doing nothing to protect everyday Americans and pushing American firms into the hands of the CCP. Your intention to work against SEC mission and put American investors in harm's way has been made very apparent, sir. It's been a year and a half since you've appeared before this committee. You need to answer to Congress about the issues that you've had with the SEC staff union, the work environment you've cultivated at the SEC that's led to hemorrhaging of senior staff, the intellectual inconsistency of your regulatory treatment
He's getting
towards
red.
Bitcoin spot ETF, and your politicization of capital formation opportunities
Gentleman's time
through your
has
treatment of
expired.
certain SPACs. And that's just to name a few.
He went without the beat at the end. They turned off his beat and he still kept going. Wow. I'm so glad I watched that with y'all live. Because I had watched a couple different clips. The last one I'll play is probably the most memeable. Although that was fire. Prodigy saying, let him cook. Let him cook. Emmer went absolutely to town. I'm going to share one more Representative Steele talking about Gensler trying to protect the American public by creating educational course videos. Just amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Gensler.
Wallets or own digital assets. Team or subject matter experts have digital wallets or own digital assets.
I don't believe under our ethics rules they do.
Do you own digital assets or have a digital wallet?
I don't own any crypto assets. All of my securities holdings are actually digital because they're held by a broker-dealer and they're digital there.
Have you
Thanks
ever
for that.
owned
Appreciate that.
Bitcoin or
I thought you were
another
owning
digital asset?
No.
Slips for your stocks.
And so maybe here, I'm guessing most folks on your senior staff, I'm guessing you included, have bought or sold stocks, but none of them have owned, or none of them currently own crypto assets, but are in the process of making rules and regulations on crypto assets. That'd be a fair assumption.
That would be a fair
I couldn't
assumption.
speak to that. I actually at MIT taught a course called Blockchain and Money. I taught multiple courses called Crypto Finance and other courses as well.
But you didn't own any crypto.
No.
You taught the course, but you weren't a user in the product.
I did not own crypto assets. They're a highly speculative asset.
No, I'm not asking
now.
for your view on it. I'm just saying
I want your
you're
investment
in the business
thesis,
now of
Gensler.
making rules and regulations regarding digital assets, but you've taught a class on it. You've personally owned a digital asset, any crypto, including Bitcoin.
The only digital assets I have is my bank account and my brokerage accounts, but no crypto.
Very good. Thank you. On July 13th.
And I'm sure he continued because that was basically the tone. I honestly want to run through a brick wall after hearing that Emmer dissertation. That was amazing. And it is amazing. Honestly, like this whole what happened yesterday feels good. It feels like someone's being held at least a little bit of accountable, at least in the public eye. I don't know if this is going to lead to anything substantial, but that whole segment there where we showed, 4 or 5 different representatives taking them to task is exactly what you want to happen in this country. So, follow 2-Bit Idiot if you want to keep up with whatever is going on from the political standpoint, from the regular standpoint. Those are awesome. Jacob Gooden's in the house saying, those who can't do, teach. You're right. Specifically when they've never touched the asset they're teaching about. All right, Marty McFly's in the house saying, I heard GIF got removed from the plane for flying with a man bun. I think if after COVID, you don't know what the airlines are going to do with these rules. So if it's man bunless, I mean, he's definitely getting flagged for that large man bun he has. So Prodigy saying, smash the like, lads. I mean, Emmer just cooked up a whole feast, 5 courses. 5 courses. I gotta go watch that again after this is over. Anyways, we are gonna get on to the rest of the episode. Let's hop into the NFTGo Bagcheck here real quick, guys. Let's see the sentiment. Let's see what we've got going on with collections. Specifically, one we saw the Trump collection version 2s come out. Hate on Trump as much as you like. He's probably onboarded more folks than almost all collections in NFTs combined. Not combined, not combined, but all of them together, he's in the top probably 20 collections that has onboarded folks into Web3. I'm hearing about it from people in my life talking about NFTs more than the Nakamigos or more than Starbucks NFTs. We'll see where they go, but I would love to pull back up the tweet that I had earlier in the episode. Let me see if I can get to it, that I thought put it really well. Is notwithstanding the Trump collectibles, the dot swooshes, the Reddit avatars, the Starbucks NFTs, the aliases, the Gucci's, all of these are more sophisticated drops than the bullshit that we saw come from large brands in 21 through 22 through early 23 with even something like Game of Thrones. So if you do remember back in 21, we saw Matrix drops, we saw Pepsi drops, we saw Budweiser drops. I'm trying to think of some other, larger, well-known brands that dropped NFT collections into the ecosystem, and they were largely, pushing liquidity out of our ecosystem. Those weren't, multipliers to what we have going on here. They were just extracting liquidity by doing really bad drops. As when I was saying, what's the vibe on Reddit avatars? I will tell you that what I think is happening with Reddit avatars, and in Asmodai, you might find this analogy more than other folks, because it almost does feel a little bit like the sandbox effect, where you have smaller insular communities that are utilizing Reddit avatars, but you don't have like the large scale, like Reddit avatars aren't taking over the larger, NFT ecosystem. But what you do have is a continuous upswing in communities using those Reddit avatars. So I know when they first dropped, there were 1, 2, 3 collections that were just multiples for whoever got them early. I think what you see now is you have a lot of different communities that are utilizing Reddit avatars. So I think it's healthy. Like, I can even try to pull up some Reddit avatar stats and you can take a look. But from what I'm seeing, not, being in Reddit, but covering the space and, seeing the different Dune Analytics dashboards and Twitters. Sorry, I got a dog issues over here. But yeah, no, Reddit avatars I think are doing well. Let's try to find out what we've got here. But yeah, this is a great quote. We're seeing the next stage, I think like generation 2 or 3 from these larger brands, and it looks better. It feels better than what essentially was liquidity extraction that happened in that first wave. Hey, how do we make the most out of this? That's still their goal, I'm sure, but they know that they have to come at it from a different approach. Asmodai, this is the last comment we'll have if this is related to Gensler, saying Asmodai, the whole thing painted a real positive picture for crypto from the government and highlighting the banks and regulators' war against crypto assets. I agree with that completely. All right, so NFTGo Bagcheck, let's get into it. We appreciate NFTGo. They are a sponsor this month on these episodes, as well as the GM Web3 Morning Show. So we appreciate you guys very much. We use your product all the time. And let's get into the NFTGo Bagcheck here as we see it today. So this sentiment is actually increasing over the last 24 to 48 hours. We have people still in losses. This will flip a little bit once we're in that bull market, right? Once we're out of this winter, you'll start to see this kind of come, more balance, more equilibrium. Blue chip index doesn't look great over the last 7 days. Moonbirds put out some announcements yesterday. I saw the guys covering that. We had, doodles are pretty bad shape right now. I would love to see which projects are blue chips that they've added to this, but apes didn't do that well over the last 7 days because of the Franklin events and things like this. So this is against ETH. It looks a little bit of the same against USD. It probably a little bit better. Don't pay attention right now to this drop off. It's just the timeline, the time that we're in right now. So looking better in USD over that. Let's see 30 days USD. So again, we're sitting right here where my cursor is, as opposed to that drop off. So up in USD essentially. Maybe we crapped out over the last month. Against ETH, it probably looks a little bit worse. Yeah, you see that ETH is performing pretty well. From what I've heard from my network of people who are mainly traders, I've heard from Mike and a couple other individuals who generally have the same thesis in that NFTs are kind of lagging indicators, meaning Bitcoin will pump, ETH will pump, shitcoins will pump, and then NFTs pump. NFTs might be in the mix there. Alongside, smaller cap fungible tokens. But I think that what you'll see is this kind of, increase over time against ETH. ETH is going to probably run, and then we'll see a rotation potentially into NFTs over the long term. So that's why it looks so bad against ETH, while over the last 30 days, it looks okay against USD. It's because ETH has been performing super well. All right, over the last 30 days here against ETH, we dropped off heavily. That's an interesting drop off here on the 18th or 16th. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe an ETH pump. That's probably what happened. ETH pumped to like 2,100. Against USD, we saw the same drop, but not as bad. We're kind of obviously improved over the start of the month on the 30-day timeline on March 21st. So we're increasing in market cap. One thing I will say is if you zoom out to 3 months, this is really dope. And there's a couple other tweets that I'll bring up here along with this in just a second, just on like positive bullish indicators for NFTs, for crypto, as we head into summer, is if you look at the 3-month chart, you can see there's a ton of volume. And if you want to go over the year chart as well, you can see that there's a full year from May to about January. We remember being there, right, folks, when a lot of the open editions started to drop. Well, you see middle of December, that was like ape staking time frame. Sewer Pass started to come out, I believe, in January, February. But you see that the volume increased after December 15th-ish, and you saw a major increase over that last 3 months. So that's really good. That if you look at the volume, that's good. The market cap's going to go up, I think, with that volume. Against ETH, we'll see the same thing. So, since December, we've seen a ton of volume. That's really healthy. So I know there's a lot of doom and gloom in the air and a lot of apathy from Franklin just left. So there are people hurting. And I bring that up to say that it's not just him. He's just really high profile. There's a ton of people that have left or are still leaving the ecosystem. But this is really cool to see if you zoom out over the last year. All right, if we zoom in over the last 7 days, here is the breakdown from a collection standpoint on Ethereum. Bored Apes, Wrapped CryptoPunks, Mutants, Azuki saw a bid over the past week. Beans in the Azuki ecosystem there. Kennel Clubs, Pudgy Penguins, Clone X, Outlaws still kind of surviving after that initial FUD, and Nakamigos seeing a lot of volume off that announcement that we covered earlier. Punks, so let's go to 24 hours here. Mutant Apes, interestingly enough. I don't know what that's about. If anyone knows what's going on with mutants, Azuki, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Rap CryptoPunks, DeGods. Cool to see DeGods there doing some top 5 action in the Ethereum platform. Kennel Club, CloneX, Moonbirds, Nakamigos, Beans. So that's the look. I really like following the marketplaces now that we saw OpenSea Pro launch. I think Blur is, again, doing a lot of volume. I want to pop out here for just the next 20 seconds or 30 seconds. That Jimmy tweet about Franklin and Machi trading back and forth on Blur to farm, like they had a social contract that said, hey man, like I'll trade you mine, you'll trade me yours, and we'll make a shit ton of Blur tokens, and then Machi potentially rugging him. First off, that's like heavy implications on Machi being a complete dick bag. But both of them doing that, that's a heavy implication on Franklin as well. So maybe that was true. I'm not going to get in my conspiracy bag without knowing the information. But if they were doing that, gaming the Blur system, more so than like kind of doing it blindly, in incentive-based trading, but it was more wash trading, that's wild. So I don't know if Franklin's gone. I don't know what the hell he's doing. But Blur is still doing a shit ton over the last 24 hours. Let's zoom out to 7 days here. So volume is primarily on Blur. Let's take X2Y2 and looks rare down. So OpenSea Pro, not seeing a lot of trading sizes here. But traders are going to be heavily in OpenSea's favor. So we'll turn this on as well. So OpenSea and OpenSea Pro together are doing a lot more than Blur and Blur Aggregator together. So again, if you're looking for anything bullish on the OpenSea front, which I like their addition of OpenSea Pro, I've used it. I think it's super smooth. I think it's pandering to the traders that are predominantly taking over the market right now. I think it's a good move. So interested on y'all's thoughts right now on OpenSea or Blur. Are you using OpenSea? Are you using Blur? Are you using either? I am looking at that here relatively shortly. I'd love to see OpenSea Pro continue to do well because that's what we want. We want competition. All right, a couple other things. So I got a couple tweets on that I told you I would show. I think these are really cool positive signs that we want to be seeing while we're sitting here in NFT Winter. One is the OpenSea Pro piece that I just talked about. So OpenSea, this is directly from their Twitter profile. Off to an explosive start on Saturday, OpenSea Pro soared to new heights, reaching a record-breaking 5.2 million in daily trading volume. Let's enjoy the ride because it's just the beginning. So you can see over that time, so that's March 4th is when they made this announcement. Or I don't know why they have the gem information. I think the OpenSea Pro was earlier this month. But you can see OpenSea Pro doing significantly more volume than it was when it was the same platform, but just rebranded or pre-branded as Gem before it was bought up. So that was cool on the OpenSea front. This is more larger and broader ecosystem based. Delphi Digital. Ethereum NFTs had over 1 billion in volume in March, the third month above 1 billion in a row. And we were looking at that in the NFTGo Bagcheck segment with market cap and size. This is what you want to see. If you zoom out, you can see that, over the last 3 months, we've seen a shit ton of volume here in the space. Again, they have X2Y2 on here. They have Looks Rare on here. A lot of this has to do with volume as it comes to Blur incentive trading and all that stuff, but it's still a good thing from a macro perspective to say, hey, look, there is still liquidity in this market. How much of that is incentivized? There's your question, but it's still cool to see this covered. All right, folks, we are getting to the last topic today. We gotta cover Trump digital trading cards. Unfortunately. And you know what? I love how Trump digital trading cards and immediately political and immediately, what do I want to say? Like that's exactly what comes to my mind when I start talking about Trump digital trading cards. This is last 24 hours. Nakamigos saw a bid. Other side saw a bid. I'm not touching Muppets. I'm not touching Outlaws. A lot of FUD there, although you could probably flip to potentially, see profits there. This is not financial advice, by the way. I went the whole episode. I'm going to have to do a mad disclaimer at the bottom of this saying this is not financial advice. Do not take this as financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Do what you want. Do not listen to my degenerate ass talk about NFTs and buy anything or sell anything. So Outlaws, Muppets, I'm not talking about here. Mutant Apes, I'm wondering what that bid is about. But let's hit Trump, man. How do you go today's episode without talking about Trump NFTs? We're going to cover the crypto slam aspect of this as well. So if you see over the last 24 hours, I'm going to zoom out to 7 days as well. Over the last 24 hours, Trump digital trading cards have done the most sale volume in all of NFTs. And say what you want about the dude's character. I think he's a big piece of shit. I also don't agree with the president that we have sitting now. But Trump digital collectibles on Polygon have probably onboarded and made people aware of NFTs, probably in the wrong way, more so than in any top 20 collection out there. And you could make the argument of top 10. So this is the volume. So sales volume over the last 24 hours, 2.7 mil that beats out Bored Ape Yacht Club and Azuki. 22,000 transactions. Let's zoom out to 7 days and see where it ends up. Now, it just launched yesterday, so you got to keep that in mind. So 2.8 mil in total volume is going to put it almost outside of the top 10. This project also came out, it pops off the page, right? Because it's the biggest on Solana. I don't know much about the heist, but if anybody can drop any info on the heist, that will be much appreciated. But yeah, Trump NFT. So let's get into it. I've got the major story here from NFT Evening, but I also want to show off the website here. Let me make sure I've got it. So this is the tweet from Donald Trump. So this is the problem with doing an episode by yourself. You better have all that shit lined up. This is the tweet from Donald J. Trump. As of 10 minutes ago, my digital trading cards sold out in record time, approximately $4.6 million. A great honor, and I hope everyone is happy. Yeah. Congratulations. I like the cryptid politics here. That's pretty funny. How far we've fallen from our political leaders is interesting. But yeah, the story being Donald J. Trump launches version 2s. Now, the really funny thing about this is that people owning version 1s got absolutely hammered on this. I'm talking about on the announcement that these were happening, and it was kind of a stealth drop, 75% down. Hammered. I'm gonna try to find the site. I had it pulled up and then I didn't. Oh, I actually do have it. So this wonderful site put together by whoever successfully bid on Donald J. Trump's likeness here. It's a really interesting concept here to talk about too. Is that he's going off the pure collectible play, like really. Like, I don't even know the supply of these. I'm sure there were fucking thousands of them. I mean, thousands and thousands. I need to get the total number. He's not going with the scarcity route. He's not going with the, hey, I'm going to create, obviously Donald's not creating a freaking Discord. Although if he did this for like high value NFTs, like launch a 500 or 100 like VIP set, I think it would do extremely well, where he would like have Zoom calls or other things. But he's approaching it at it from Collectibles. And this is showing us, again, that there is going to be future utility for NFTs. This is purely from the Collectibles front. Again, there's not like any utility, like, you know, it's if you own Magic cards, if you own, although the utility of playing Magic is playing Magic, but also to collect. But something like a sports card, there's no implicit utility said from the MLB or that player. You know, they're just collectibles. And that's what he's really honing in on, is like, these don't do much, but they're collectibles. And good luck trying to flip them. I hesitate to even look at the chat right now. I see like 5 Prodigy comments. A lot, you know, some of what you're saying here, I definitely agree with. And again, like I said before we even started talking about this, I don't necessarily, you know, like Trump as president, although I think he was a heavy-handed president, which is something we needed. I think we had a lot of status quo, or kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Panderers that pandered to the people that are actually in charge of this country. And therefore, you know, made us look very weak and led to the rise of, you know, the CCP, and at least at a greater clip it did. So Trump kind of threw a wrench into that. I will agree. But this, again, I'm not getting into the Alex Jones geopolitical podcast. I really don't like what Biden's been doing, for sure. But how can you blame him? He's fucking 90 years old. All right, collecttrumpcards.com, as this show just got banned on YouTube, of course, because we said a plethora of banned words. This is the Series 2. Join the Trump card community by clicking Series 2 trading cards, only $99. So at the current clip, and I can bring up OpenSea right now, these are going for almost 2x on secondary. They're on Polygon, so if you go to OpenSea, not OpenSea Pro. I tried to find these on the chart for OpenSea Pro, but if you go to OpenSea, the traditional site, then you're going to be able to see the version 2s, which I can bring up here in a second. They're going for about $175. So almost a 2x. Series 2, like I said, version 1 got completely wrecked. Prado saying, make NFTs great again. I agree. Yeah, I don't know how much of that North and South Korea stuff was a facade, and Putin in line. I think you are estimating that if he was still there, that Russia would not be at war with Ukraine, which I don't necessarily agree with. These are just like baseball cards. So there it is, sports card representation. These are just like baseball cards, but you collect them digitally on your computer or phone. All you need is an email address and a credit card or crypto to start collecting. 1, 10, 20, or 100 instantly become a new league of collectors. So highlighting right there, sports collectibles. He's using them as collectibles. Again, using his likeness, and he's able to sell off those. I don't know if these were open editions. I'm pretty sure there was a cap, but let's go into OpenSea and see what the actual collection looks like right now. So the original Trump digital trading cards, 45,000 of them. Let me make sure I've got this. All right, Trump Digital Trading Card Series 2. Here we go. Trump Digital Trading Card Series 2, 47,000 again. So almost the same clip on the item. So he's been selling them for 50K each. Man, the art on these, they're just really what we want to see, you know, in this space. Here, I'm being a little bit facetious. I do agree with like the kind of more laissez-faire approach. people can do art however the hell they want to. And it's clearly getting people to talk, although that's his superpower. But these are some of the worst art that I've seen. Like this one right here. That there's some bad ones, but there's also some good ones. That's a nice Elvis piece. The King. That one's very, very bad, but memeable. Can we take some time to appreciate the lion? The fire lion over the world with Trump standing in the background. George Washington Trump. I would love to put a poll right now. What is your favorite Trump collectible here? I'm checking OpenSea here. Let's see some high to lows. Some of these are going to be ridiculous bids. Yeah, thanks trolls. What do you get out of listing an NFT for 1 billion ETH? I want to see a large sale here. Floor sales. All right. So Captain America Trump has gone for 0.749. So here's one thing I will say to y'all sitting here watching this. You've heard us talk about wax. You have, unfortunately. We talked about how that was how we started. This looks a lot like that. This looks a lot like the early days of wax. It was just a pure collectible play. People started flipping these for thousands, and then it was tens of thousands. And then people started getting interested more and more. And of course, all of those collectible plays are dead. These, I mean, maybe they have some sentimental value or like some like historical value being associated with Trump, but one of his first one or two collections. But these are not going to perform well over time, much in the same way that wax, I'm sure a lot of those have not performed well over time, simply because there's 50,000, now 100,000 of these that you know there's going to be a version 3. There was another piece of this. Let me see if I can get to the original that I mentioned. So these are the original Trump digital collectibles. And if we go to price activity, you can see they fell off a cliff. So, you know, average price of 0.57 in March. And they're sitting at a 0.1 floor at this point. So, I mean, that we've seen that playbook. You know, we've talked about a couple playbooks. The Nakamigos coming out and saying, hey, look, we're going to drop something maybe in summertime, later in the year, quote unquote. Floor price skyrockets. Well, the absolute, you know, a different effect. I'm wearing a Gutter Cat Gang shirt right now. Increasing supply is going to instantly tank your floor price, which it did. It went down like 75%, sitting at like minus 80% at this point. So that, I mean, people that were holding or had bought at that price definitely got wrecked. I'm sure there's a couple people. There always is. As I was saying, they'll end up like Pepe Tops, probably. You know, I think you're mentioning Pepe Tops. Is that was on wax most likely. All right. And again, I want to go back to the thesis for this. You know, is if you hate the guy, you hate the guy. I get it. I totally see it. I think he's a total dirtbag. But he's onboarding people into NFTs at a higher clip than you think he is. And he's doing it in a right way. And when I say he, I mean whoever is creating this shit. So, what's up, Diggs? I see you there on Twitch. We appreciate you. Whether you're listening on Twitch, Spotify, Twitter, YouTube, we appreciate all of the fam that tune in for these daily shows, man. It helps out a lot. Your support is awesome. Thank you guys so much. All right, I'm gonna wrap up this Trump piece here. Store your Trump cards. You'll need an email address to store your Trump cards. Purchase your Trump cards. You can pay with crypto. There it is. The fast credit card checkout. Receive your cards once you've successfully Got Your trading card will be minted and delivered to your digital wallet. Log in your wallet simply with an email address to see which card you received. So, oh my God, buy 47 digital trading cards and you get a ticket to a dinner with the president. So 47, so what is that? Is that's $4,700 at $100 a clip? Is that looks like princess I'm my UK history. Oh man. I'm just not up to date. Who is William's wife? Totally blanking, but that looks like William's wife. I'm not sure what the other folks looks like, but you get a bonus offer in Mar-a-Lago. Look, don't hate the player, hate the game. At the end of the day, that's how I look at it with these trump cards. If people are willing to pay for it, they're willing to pay for it. And you know what? They're going about it not in a dumb way. They didn't come out and say, hey, we're only selling this with ETH. They didn't come out and say, hey, this is being custodied with us. We kind of did it in an okay way. It looks a lot, and I'm going to repeat that, a lot like a wax drop from back in 2021. A lot. All right, folks, we're going to get out of here relatively soon. Another thing that people are coming into contact with here recently is extremely fast pumping shitcoins. And Marty McFly, in the most shocking news of all time, is voting for Biden in 2024. I'm gonna abstain from any comments. Pepe Token, Pepe Coin, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is up. Even from yesterday when they were talking about it on NFT Live, you could have made a complete 2x on Pepe Coin. And I don't know who is surprised by this stuff. This is what DeFi summer looked like. This shit rhymes like crazy, man. And we might actually, look, I'm not going to go out on a limb here and tell you, but you're seeing some historical rhymes here. Wax in DeFi summer, you see certain pumps, you see certain, collectibles pump, you see some shitcoins pump. In DeFi summer was wild for that. You would see these shitcoins pump 400% overnight. Those predicated the last bull run. So there's some rhyming pieces here, but if you're surprised at a shitcoin pump like this, I think it's up 200 something percent, 400%. I mean, if you got in super early, the earliest it got on CoinGecko, it's up 400%. So think of this token. If you're wondering what the hell it is at home, you're not alone. Two, think of it as probably a Doge, kind of Doge narrative. It's like the coin of the people. So Pepe, this is from the official Twitter, the most memeable meme coin in existence. Let's make meme coins great again. First of all, there's no way that this is the first Pepe coin that's ever been created. No way. I would bet my life that there has been a Pepe coin that's been created before this. Pepe is like the most memeable shit in this whole ecosystem, that people love Pepe. I'm kind of a fan of Pepe. So there's no way. But this is the first one that is pumped significantly, to my knowledge. So, yeah, I'm assuming there's nothing else about this except Pepe coin. Pepe will never be doing an airdrop or anything that requires you to connect your wallet, yada, yada, yada. Speaking of meme coins, where's Bonk at these days? We said we were gonna revisit Bonk month after month to see where the hell these Solana maxis that came in here and flamed us about Bonk. Let's see what's going on. Biden is the biggest pimp to walk the planet. Look, if you can be that old and somehow get the presidency, Look, I know he was kind of like shuttled in there. He was wheelchaired into the office, basically, both metaphorically and physically. But I don't necessarily disagree with that statement. He's doing some crazy shit behind the scenes. Bonk is down 12%. Let's see this. I want you to visualize what you think is about to happen with this chart, and I will tell you that you're right. Most likely, I haven't even looked at it. Keep in mind. So I'm gonna zoom out 3 months and see what this looks like. Good luck, Bonk. Okay, so not the worst. Not the worst. Okay, I expected this to trail off into oblivion. It looks like it's keeping up, although against ETH, definitely not doing that well. I don't know what it looks like against Solana, its native platforms token, but it's not dead. I expected way worse. I'm not gonna lie. So, yeah, shout out to the Bonk homies. If you're in Pepe, congratulations. If you don't know that shitcoins in this industry pump, just know that there's going to be another. There's going to be a Barra coin here shortly. I guarantee it. So Pepe's pumped. We pumped every fruit and vegetable in existence during DeFi summer. This is going to be the case. And you can take a gamble and you can pay off. That's what happens in DeFi summer. Shit took off if you caught it at the right time. 30 minutes you could have made 2, 3, 4x. Or gone down 80%. So good luck if you're in Pepe. I could totally see it running. And this is not financial advice. But I could totally see it running. How's my Shiba Inu doing? My guess is as good as yours. I was going to say probably not well, but it's as good as yours. Let's see. Doge is sitting at 88 cents. Shiba's sitting... Yeah, fell off a cliff, basically. I don't want to talk about Bitcoin. Is this like a Pepe reaction here? Is this like, oh, Pepe came out, so I don't need Shiba? Yeah, see that. Yeah, good luck with this, man. Good luck with with Shiba, man. I think the most perpetrated, or I said perpetrated, or the most perpetuated, using big words here today on NFT Live, the most perpetuated narrative that I hate, that is just like the worst concept of finance in economics that could possibly exist, are Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. When someone says, I can own 1 million Shiba, and if it pumps to $1, I'm a millionaire. And I've heard, I'm talking about 5, 6, 7 people. So Prodigy, it's not just you, okay? It has say the exact same thing. Like, that's not how tokens work. That's not how finance and economics works. You could own 1 trillion of these things. It does not matter the quantity of the tokens. What matters is the total supply and the price of the token to equal market cap. Circulating supply, you're looking at circulating supply, you're looking at total supply, you're looking at market cap. You're not looking at just the price alone. I don't know how that there it is, right there. Product. Stop. It literally triggers me when I hear people talk about Doge and Shiba Inu this way. Because it's the price of the token. The price of the token doesn't matter. Bitcoin could be at $1. Bitcoin could literally be at $1, but the supply be at 100,000 or I'm sorry, like 200 million or what have you. It's the circulating supply and the total market cap. Circulating supply, total supply, of course, but the market cap, stop treating it this way. Because what eventually happens is you get to a point where you're like, if that shit ever hits a penny, well, it would need to pass the market cap of Bitcoin to do that. Like that, Shiba would need to pass the market cap of Bitcoin to do that. So I'm gonna hop off my pulpit here. Please stop associating the health of a token or the chances of making it big on the price of the token. If you want to bore me that way, use market cap. Use market cap. All right, I am down a huge ass rabbit hole right now. So I think that we are going to leave it here. I got to throw up the latest RSVP here for the Web3 Lounge. Listen, we're going to be in Austin Monday through I think we're there the whole week. I'm not going to be there that long, but I'm going to be there for about 3 days. I get out on Tuesday. I leave it on Thursday. But I'm here to be at this event. You guys are triggering me in the chat, and I know you're doing it on purpose. But anyways, Web3 Lounge is going to be a highbrow, lowbrow in Austin. There's going to be a lot of dope things that are happening at this event. We have like a whole Doge, doggo swag, pet vendors. This is for the Doge Pound NFT community. They're doing a yappy hour along with the Web3 Lounge. This is going to be awesome. There's an outside, a very inside, like marijuana mansion feel. It's going to be sick. We're going to be there April 26th. So if you're going to be there, Left Action House, I know you told me that or told us that you're going to be there, so I appreciate it. But I'm going to drop this one more time in chat. If you are in Austin for Consensus, definitely let us know. I'm going to leave us with, I might just leave us with Emmer again, man. Like, I might leave us with Emmer's closing statement. That was absolute fire. All right, last comments here. Prado is triggering and trolling me. I bought 2 million Shibas to be a millionaire. Prodigy saying, I'll fight you. Look at how early Doge users that got rich. I'm going to have 100 in these coins and be balling. If you want to be a baller, if you think that you want to just throw $100 to the fucking wind to see if you'll be a millionaire one day, then you have to search by market cap. This is what I'm trying to... In order to see something do multiples on multiples on multiples, where you can turn 100 into 100,000 or something like that, the market cap has to be in the hundreds of thousands. Maybe like millions, maybe like a 10 mil, $20 million market cap that somehow gets to 2 billion. You know? Like this whole I keep calling it perpetuation. So it's not about that. That same person is going to say that same thing. Prodigy is the embodiment right now of the person I'm talking about. It's not about the ape. It has nothing to do with it. All right, so let's see. All right, so Bitcoin is at a current market cap. This is circulating market cap, not fully diluted. Fully diluted market cap is also a meme. Do not listen to this. When someone tries to tell you the fully diluted market cap of something, slap them in the face. Crypto does not operate on fully diluted market caps. So circulating market cap here for Bitcoin, 500 billion, I believe. That's what it is. Yeah, about half, probably almost half of the market. What is dominance? Bitcoin dominance, 44%. Okay. All right, 500 bill market cap. So what we're looking for is something that's going to pass Bitcoin and do 100x at like the same time. So Dogecoin is at 12. So in order to pass, in order to do 100x, you want to turn. So you want to turn that into what? Now you're questioning me. 100. So what would 100x be? 1.2 trillion? No, 50x even. See, now I'm getting into maths. Dogecoin's at a $12 billion market cap. So $100 billion market cap obviously would be a 10x, wouldn't even pass Bitcoin. So, okay. Don't expect to turn $100 into a million, but you could maybe turn it into, I don't know, 1,000, a 10x maybe. Then you're literally sitting at the number 3 cryptocurrency token. But just go down the list and do yourself a favor. Just not even these. Let's go into the, okay, we got a $400 million market cap. Let's go to the second page. Second page. This is where you're turning $100 into, and this is not financial advice, by the way. Thank you. Second page. All right, so now we're getting into the $200 million market caps. If this thing did 100x, it would not even... yeah, I'm getting caught down a rabbit hole here. Please start basing, in not financial advice, this is just how I do it. You should probably be looking at market cap and not price of a token to base your purchases off of. The most ostentatious event. I can get after that. All right, Left Action now. It's going to be there. I see you, brother. All right, thank you guys for tuning. Hey, you guys were awesome through this whole episode. I was solo dolo. Gifted is flying in his plane. Not PJ. It's a bear market. Just probably like business class back to LA. And he will be flying business class to Austin, Texas for the Web3 Lounge. But y'all were awesome today. Hey, I want to show you guys one thing before we get out of here, just so you can see it's real. We got our Wag Me shirts, baby. We got our Wag Me shirts. You love to see it. Maybe we'll all wag me. Maybe we're all going to make it. Easy and Crypto saying, great episode. Our Vibe, our tribe. Hash Rhymes, thank you, Q. Hash Rhymes, thank you. Thank you. And also, great PFP there. Project saying OVOT, buddy. Asmodai saying OVOT. I would rather have 100 Cardano than 10 ETH. You guys are just, you're on one today. You're seeing all my trigger words right now. All right, I'm going to play some Drake AI to go out here. AI scares the absolute living shit out of me, but sometimes it creates some cool shit. One of them being this song. Our Vibe, our tribe. Senator Emmer, or Congressman Emmer, or just Tom Emmer in general. You're awesome. Cook. Just cook away, sir. We're all behind you. Our Vibe, our tribe.
The flex, bumping Justin Bieber, the fever ain't left. She know what she need, or she blessed. Giving you my best. Yeah, I got my heart on my sleeve with a knife in my back. What's with that? 21, I love him, then my brother, that's my stack. Metro made the beat, so you know that it's gon' slap. Yeah, it's gon' slap. Tell him run it back. Talking to a diva, yeah, she on my nerves. She think that I need her, kick her to the curb. All I know is you could've had the world, yeah, you were my world.
Got these pearls on my neck, got these girls on my check. Like Selena, baby, on my cheating, baby, yeah. She taking a Lambo for a drive, it's in my fancy door. And she way out the store. I got my heart on my sleeve with the city on my back, ain't no pack. Say she from Toronto, but can't find it on the map. That's on me, I put her in the past. Let's know that.
Talking to a diva, yeah, she on my nerves. She think that I need her, kick her to the curb. All I know is you could've had the world, yeah, you were my. I came in with my ex like Selena, the flex, bumping Justin Bieber, the fever ain't left. She know what she need, or she blessed. Giving Metro made the beat, so you know that it's gon' slap. Ay.